Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I am holding the Standard, and the Standard. There is a story on this is Standard. This is Standard on Sunday, on page 7, and the title of that article is "Trouble Looms as Mount Kenya MPs Plot to Take War on William Samoei Ruto." And in that article, it is a very it's a chilling narration about what happened on Friday. Immediately after the UDA party convenes its NDC, its National Governing Council in Bomas of Kenya, two groups split from Mount Kenya, and 12 members of parliament from Kiambu met Rigathi Gachagua at Karen residence. Then 60 members of parliament converged at an MP's house, at Kirinyaga MP's house in Thika, for a meeting on post-mortem on in fact of what exactly is happening in Mount Kenya. And what has shocked many is that the meeting was also attended by non-UDA members, including Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega, who was supposed, and Sabina Chege, Kanini Kega has not been confirmed, who was supposed to be under Rigathi Gachagua, and also Gadoni Wamushomba, who was being seen as an outsider within UDA, attended that meeting, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to get down and explain in details what exactly was the outcome of the two meetings, and politically why it's a nightmare for Rigathi Gachagua. But before I get to that, I want to reach out to you in a special way. Now look at this boy here. This is Mwiti Edwin Mwendwa. Mwiti Edwin Mwendwa was supposed to join Kirinyaga University to pursue a course in Bachelor of Technology in Electrics and Computer Engineering early September. But up to now, he has not yet joined. And I understand the mother is actually sick, and situation is there. So as Team Bold, I wanted us to do something different in October. We are taking this boy to school on Friday. Yes, on Friday we are taking Edwin Mwiti Mwendwa to Kirinyaga University. Yes, we can. And I believe that I've just looked at what is needed. There's some balance he had in previous secondary school, which is around 20,000. Then after paying that balance, because he's also reporting late, we may have to organize for another, for kumrejeshia nyumba outside, because the hostels he might not get. So we need to pay for that. And we also need to pay for his fees and other costs that are there. So this is what I want to do. I want to do 100 days challenge between today, Sunday, to Thursday. And apart from the financial, anyone, I want us to do it as our own. So if you have, this guy needs to go to school, Hanata Sini. If you have a good phone, smartphone, you want to can donate, give me that smartphone. Nipatie kijana. If you have a laptop, and the university people needs laptop, you can donate that laptop. Just contact me. I'm organizing how we can pick it and draw. Make sure we give it to the boy on Friday. If you can even buy me, I can share with you catalog some of the requirements needed for that, because I can also send to you. I cannot name them because ziko mingi. You can also pick one or two and buy and give me. And anything. Hata kama unaweza kununulia nguo. On Friday, I'm doing a 100-book challenge. You reaching out to you in a special way. Tupeleke kijana shule Friday. But apart from that, other common things needed. Kama unaweza nipatia, if you can donate, I'll also be so grateful. My Mount Kenya team and my good team from the Bold Yes, we have to do it. Friday, lazima tupeleke mtoto Kirinyaga. It's a must. And I believe this will work. Kindly, let's donate what you have. The number is there, or 710 62 78 89. And you can also use the send wave. It will appear Kevin Olo. You'll be grateful. I believe we must do this. Yes. Now, get straight to the politics. And this is what is happening. Now, according to what has been reported here, the group made up of 12 MPs from Kiambu that retreated to Rigathi Gachagwa's place also told Rigathi Gachagua of some of the challenges that were happening there. But remember, yesterday, on Saturday, William Ruto was in Kiambu. So part of why Rigathi Gachagua might have met that team is just ground smoothening. Because Uhuru went to Kiambu on Saturday, yesterday. So apart from the politics, Rigathi Gachagua was just organizing on William Ruto's messaging there and maybe some of the challenges. But allegedly, they are saying that they picked one MP, Juja MP, who spoke at the current meeting, confirmed to the Sunday Standard that 2 meetings agreed to appoint 3 legislators who will consolidate all grievances and report back in 3 days. So kwa hiyo meeting ya Karen, they picked one MP to consolidate all those complaints from the other members and report back after 3 days. Now, the challenge, or rather the bombshell, is on the Thika meeting. And this Thika meeting, I want us to look at it this way. Number one, according to the report, the MPs that attended raised questions. Why? There is some 2 questions, some 3 questions. Huh? Yes. I want us to get it. Now, the MPs complained why funds for the development projects had been diverted to please other communities that did not vote for Kenya Kwanza to win their hearts in 2027. Yes. And they are saying there are some funds that have been diverted. Number 2, the meeting also raised questions why some of Mount Kenya people that Uhuru Kenyatta appointed in government are currently being replaced by their counterparts from Kalenjin, and they're just being replaced one after the other. This meeting comes after the Athi River Water Development Authority, Michael Twitter, resigned over corruption allegations which Mount Kenya region leaders have dismissed as political witch hunt. The other complaint from the Thika meeting was insubordination of CSS. And this is coming from Alice Wahome, because Alice Wahome had been insisting that the PS, Kiprono Rono, was actually working with another special team from State House, and some of the decisions were arrived at and were made without her involvement. Rather, she was not involved. Now, during the burial of freedom warrior Tetu MP Geoffrey Wandeto and Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga protested the cancellation of funds for the construction of Mudwaini Giakanja and Wandubi Wamagana roads and the construction of Mau Mau State roads that were to be constructed at Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi's birthplace in Tetu to attract tourists. So, apart from the dam, huku kwa Ministry of Roads, also there is a problem that some roads that had been slated to be constructed in Nyeri, Tetu, were also cancelled. And the MPs are saying they have been silent as they do not want to give the opposition fodder to undermine Kenya Kwanza. But their continued silence had led to them being labeled as tugege, political nincompoops by their electorate and rivals. And others, now Gadono Mshomba team said, despite of Gachagwa's commitment and assertion that the region was a major shareholder, appointees who had been appointed by the former administration were being replaced one after the other, and Rigathi had failed to lobby for the interest of the community. These two meetings are identical to meetings that were also held in 2019 at the residence of Jane Kihara in Naivasha, where after those meetings they came out and started spreading anti-Uhuru venom. It is then true, Rigathi has been saying that Mount Kenya meets at night. So, it's something that you're gonna really want to look at. Jane Kihara attended Rigathi Gachagwa's meeting at the current residence. The mere fact that only 12 MPs attended the Rigiji's meeting and 60 attended the Thika residence, the Kirinyaga MP's Thika residence meeting is something that is revealing. And they are saying that if William Ruto will not be sensitive to their demands, then they will be left with no option but to start sensitizing Mount Kenya electorates about the betrayal. This is something that cannot be taken lightly. And there is normally a false understanding. I know there is normally a false perception that I think William Ruto have had, that I can convince Mount Kenya without these MPs. Let us say the truth. It is true that quite a number of Mount Kenya voters voted for William Ruto as William Ruto, because William Ruto already had, the person that introduced William Ruto to Mount Kenya was actually Uhuru Kenyatta. But in terms of vote mobilization and consolidation, you needed these MPs. If these MPs could not vie with the UDA ticket and choose other tickets, then I can tell you that even that Ruto basket in Mount Kenya would have changed. It would have been something different. So you cannot underestimate the influence of these MPs. I know some people look at it as if it is selfish for them to demand, but on this one, I stand with the Mount Kenya MPs, because if Rigathi has been telling you that you're shareholders, then you really need to see the shareholding. There is something why this is a very bad news to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi's Mount Kenya succession plan is collapsing, and very fast. Within no minute, it will not be making any sense, because those who are supposed to be in charge of his succession plan was to package Kenya Kwanza as the government that had taken over from Uhuru Kenyatta and is giving Mount Kenya goodies, so that he uses William Ruto's shadow, or believing that William Ruto endorses him on his succession. And that's why you realize that during the Sagana meeting, such were done. Number two, the growing rebellion is part of political posturing. The 60 MPs and the move is actually testing waters. Remember, even on the other side of Azimio, there is another group known as Kamwene that is also posturing. So what is happening here is this. These MPs, these leaders are trying to test waters. If we take messaging that clearly, we take messaging that we are being betrayed, do you want to tell me that Mount Kenya will not hear? They will hear. The drums of betrayal, if they hit loud, the Mount Kenya voters will hear. That is the same card that William Ruto played against Uhuru Kenyatta. So if the MPs will also go and say we have been betrayed, and the guy will be left with no option but to go where the majority is. That is the real truth. And in any political discussion in this country, you cannot leave out Mount Kenya. Take that. You cannot leave out Mount Kenya in any political matrix, as we say now. Number 3, Uhuru warning is playing out. And you know Uhuru warned them that you guys, you're making a political blunder. You needed to listen to what I was saying. Now, People are crying. And it's very clear that there is splinter groups. Alice Wahome is really largely dominant in the Thika meeting. And Rigathi Gachagua is also dominant in the other meeting. And also Ndindi Nyoro is dominant on this other Thika meeting. Because remember, the Thika meeting is just calling out Rigathi that there is nothing you are giving us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. I'm coming back with another bombshell. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And guys, we are taking that Mwiti, that student. Mwiti comes from Meru. We are taking that boy to Kirinyaga. So let's participate. Even if you've never participated in our charity groups, in charity events, but on this one, kindly, wacha tujaribu tupeleke huyu kijana. This will really make me happy because, of course, I think I decided, Sarah, I decided that I want to do education. Let's support. Let's see how this will play out. Tuone. Reach out to me. Kama uko mahali popote, hata kama you are in Central, wewe niambie uko wapi, mimi nitatafuta mbinu, nitapick whatever you want to bring to this boy. And if it is possible, hata tumlipie fees as we wait for what COOPs, how COOPs maybe are going to pay, whether it's going to get a scholarship or not. But I want to believe that we can scoop this. If we get 100,000, this boy will be in school in February. Thank you.